Hello everybody, Mr. Akins here and welcome to What's on the Comic Rack. In this video I'm going to be participating in Comic Collector Geek's Friday Challenge Top 10 Bronze Age comics from the 70s in your collection. In fact, he wants those to be keys. So Alan has an amazing collection. He has an amazing knowledge of comic books, but his top 10 Bronze Age keys from the 70s were truly keys. I think I'm going to call mine top 10 Bronze Age minor keys from the 70s. So if you want to participate in this, you can do your top 10 Bronze Age keys. If you want to look at his playlist, look at his playlist. He's got a lot of different types of challenges. Look through his playlist, look at some of the videos in his playlist, and find a challenge you would like to do. He's got challenges about finding robots on the cover, women in red dresses, all types of challenges. So go through his playlist, find one that you would like to do, and do that. If you do that, make sure you put at Comic Collector Geek, hashtag Friday Challenge, and he can see that video that way. So enough of me talking about comics. Let's get to looking at comics. So we're going to go in order from oldest to newest, starting with Iron Man number 54 from 1976. Now what makes this a key issue? This is the first appearance of Madame McEvil. Now at first I'm like, who is Madame McEvil? Well, Madame McEvil is the daughter of Drax, later referred to by the name Moondragon. Okay, I know who Moondragon is. Madame McEvil becomes Moondragon in Daredevil number 105. Now, I picked this comic up from N. Wilson Comics on Instagram. It was in a lot of 3. Covered by Gilkane, who as a kid I didn't really like his art style, but as I've grown older, I've learned to appreciate it more. If you've watched my channel, you know I'm currently working to complete my Iron Man Volume 1 run. Everything I need, I think, is below 70 and above number 2. Number 2, Eternals number 1 from 1976. What makes this a key issue is the first appearance and origin of the Eternals and Deviants. First appearance of Ikarus, covered by the incomparable Jack Kirby. Now I picked this comic up along with the entire run of the Eternals in the early 90s at one of the few comic book conventions I ever attended. My goal going to this convention was to pick up as many comics as I could for under 20 bucks or 40 bucks, whatever I had at the time. I was buying reading material, and I love Jack Kirby, and I had read issue number 12 of this run. I picked up each issue for 30 cents. Still have the tag right there, the 30-cent tag. Everyone knows how high this book went and then how low, but I still don't think you can get these comics for 30 cents again. Number 3 on the list, Eternals number 3 from 1976. What makes this a key issue? First appearance of Cersei, again covered by Jack Kirby. I really love this cover, and of course that was the reason I bought this entire run, for the Kirby art, and I ended up liking the story. I like the Eternals and enjoy the internal stories that Jack Kirby put out, but I wonder if other people do, or has their view been tainted by the MCU movie. I like Cersei and enjoyed having her in the Avengers. So there you go, Eternals number 3. Number 4 on the list, Ms. Marvel number 1 from 1977. What makes this a key issue? First appearance of Carol Danvers as Ms. Marvel, covered by Johnromita. Now, Carol first appeared without powers in Marvel Superheroes number 13. So that's the real key to get. But this is her first appearance as Ms. Marvel. Got this book from my LCS a couple of months ago. My plan was to get the Randy Bowen mini bust of Ms. Marvel and put it beside the mini bust of Rogue to go along with my Avengers Annual number 10 down in my comic book room. Number 5, XMen number 107 from 1977. What makes this a key issue? First appearance of the Starjammers. It's also the debut of Wolverine's Fang costume, and if you talk about a hideous costume, that one's a hideous one. First appearance of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, and therefore the reason I wanted the book, first appearance of Gladiator, cover by Dave Cockrum. The first time I encountered Gladiator in a comic was in Fantastic Four number 249, which might be my favorite Fantastic Four cover, and I have loved the character ever since. I even bought a Randy Bowen mini bust, which you can see in the back, so if I have the mini bust, then I need the first appearance. I love to display the mini bust of the character and then have a raw copy of their first appearance behind the bust. This comic was actually on my 2022 want list, which I'm still working on in 2023, but I have only one more book to go on that 2022 list, and that is Fantastic Four number 52. Number 6 on the list, 2001 A Space Odyssey number 8. This is from 1977. What makes this a key issue? This is the first appearance of Machineman, aka X-51, aka Aaron Stack. Cover by Jackkirby again. So when Alan first put out this challenge, I decided to look up the top 100 Bronze Age keys and see which ones I had. This one did not make the list, but Iron Man number 54 did. That was strange to me, but I'm a little biased because I love this character, Machine Man. I bought this off of eBay to go with my Randy Bowen statue of the character, which is back there reaching for the comic. Number 7, Avengers number 181 from 1979. What makes this a key issue? First appearance of Scott Lang, who later becomes the second Ant-Man. Cover by Georgeperez. I've said this before about Georgeperez, and I'll say it again here. The man is a master of the crowd shot. His crowd shots have so much detail and convey so much information and storytelling that you can come back again and again and pick up a little bit more every time you look at a cover. For instance, the placement of certain characters beside each other, the Vision with his hands on Wanda's shoulders, Janet reaching for Hank's hand, and my favorite, Captain America holding back Iron Man from the impending government regulations. I always love the friendship between Steve and Tony, and the irony of this picture, and others like it because of what's to come in the comics isn't lost on me. This same visual representation of their friendship is captured in a Michael Golden poster from the 1980s, but that's for another time. Number 8 on the list, X-Men number 120 from 1979. What makes this a key issue? The first appearance of alphaflight. Yes, I said the first appearance of alphaflight. First appearance of Sasquatch, Aurora, North Star, Shaman, and Snowbird. Cover by Bob Bodansky. Now, CGC labels will call this the cameo appearance of alphaflight. I think it's called a cameo appearance because each character will not be shown in costume in full until next issue. The price for X-Men 120 definitely goes with this being a first appearance. 120 is definitely more expensive than 121, which is called the full appearance. Just the opposite of Hulk 180 and Hulk 181. So here is the panel in the comic where each character is introduced, but they're not in costume. And there are multiple panels of Wolverine being pummeled by Sasquatch. Sasquatch is a statue I have in front of this comic, but this is a Gentle Giant statue, not a Randy Bowen statue. Number 9 on the list, The Amazing Spider-Man number 194 from 1979. What makes this a key issue? First appearance of the Blackcat, cover by Al Milgrom. Now this is part of the first lot of comics I ever sent off to CGC. In hindsight, I should have had this comic cleaned and pressed. Since I've learned my lesson, anything I send off to CGC from this point, I will definitely have cleaned and pressed. Of course, this is an iconic cover, homaged many times. We started off the list with Iron Man, and we're going to end the list with Iron Man. So, number 10 on the list, Iron Man number 128 from 1979. What makes this a key issue? It's the iconic cover. And talk about a cover that's been homaged many times, this one definitely has. Cover by Bob Layton. So, with number 10, the time has come for me to shout out some channels and challenge them to show their top 10 Bronze Age comics from the 1970s. So, thinking about who would have a great Bronze Age collection of comics, so I'm going to shout out Ryan, the Colossus Collector. This will give him a perfect opportunity to show off a certain giant-sized comic he owns. I'm also going to shout out Aussie Comic Book Collector. So Aussie Comic Book Collector, Martin can throw up 9 random Bronze Age comics from the 1970s, and with number 10, he can end with a key. Again, this is for fun, guys, so no pressure. So until next time, like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you around the comic rack.